table of showbread, the altar of incense, the candlestick, the Ark of the Covenant, the mercy seat, covered with gold, made of wood, all the materials.
It's like malt liquor time.
Everything in that tabernacle was a picture of whom? Of Christ, of the Lord Jesus. Now then, this is the way I explain propitiation. He was the high priest. He was the sacrificial animal. He is the place of sacrifice. He's the labor of cleansing. He's the table of showbread. He's the altar of incense. He's the candlestick. He's the Ark of the Covenant. He's the mercy seat. He is everything that you can possibly think of in that tabernacle day of atonement. The very word propitiation indicates that not only is he the sacrifice, he's the place applying the sacrifice. And see, that's the tabernacle as a picture of Christ.
I got goosebumps on my fingernails.
That's what we talk about when we say that the work of the cross finished it, because he was everything that possibly was demanded of a whole God of us. And he did it all on our behalf. He was the sacrificial blood. Go through it briefly again. He was the high priest that presented it. He was the very mercy seat where he presented his own blood. See that? Everything in that tabernacle spoke of Christ, and when you take the whole picture and put it together, that's propitiation. At least that's the way I like to look at it. Now, the Greek scholars probably wouldn't agree with me totally. Nevertheless, that's basically what propitiation is all about. That everything that was in that tabernacle picture on the Day of Atonement, Christ accomplished on the cross with his shed blood, his death,
I'll be right back after this.
resurrection. It's all been done on our behalf. Back to verse 25. Romans 3.
I haven't used this mask in a while. Didn't realize.
When we can place our faith in his what? Now you see, we're living in a sophisticated day when people don't like to talk about sacrificial blood. And we're just not programmed to that. But nevertheless, we cannot ignore the demands of Scripture that God, in his own reason, in his own line of thought, has demanded shed blood for the remission of sin. And we can't abrogate that. We can't go against it. All right, so now let's read on. So we made a propitiation when we place our faith in his blood.
All right, past that malt liquor buzz in this one.
And why do we place faith in his blood? For the remission of sin in the past and through the forbearance of God.
Shout out to all the people out there still drinking malt liquor.
Just or fair, as well as being the justifier of him who keeps the law, who joins the church, does this or does that, but what? Believe it. See? All people don't like that, but that's the picture. All right, now let's come back to verse 25 for a minute. I think most people just sort of gloss over because they don't really know what he's talking about. When it says that God declared his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past. Now, what's he talking about? Well, the Old Testament believer. Now, do you remember when I talked the difference a long time ago between hell and the lake of fire? And I pointed out and I put it on the board that all through the Old Testament economy, even the believers, with the exception of Enoch and Elijah, when they died, they didn't go to heaven. Where did they go? They went down into paradise. Remember that? I drew the circles on the board and they went down into paradise. And we get just a little window of information on that between Abraham and Lazarus and the rich man in torment. Remember that? And there was a great gulf fixed that they couldn't cross over. Well, all right, Abraham and Lazarus, of course, were down in that area called Hades or hell, and that explains that Jesus descended into hell, but he went into the paradise side. And then on his resurrection morning, he took paradise to heaven. And so now Paul tells us to be absence from the body is present with the Lord. But in the Old Testament, it wasn't that way. They couldn't go into heaven. God made two exceptions, but on the whole, the believer in the Old Testament could not go into heaven. Why? There had been no atoning bloodshed. The blood of animals and goats couldn't take away their sin. It was a stopgap. I always call it sweeping it under the rug. But once the true atonement had been accomplished, now there was no reason to send people down into paradise. Paradise was taken directly to heaven. Oh, now that's exactly what Paul is reminding us. That he's
Oh.
the New Testament believer. He's also bringing in the Old Testament saint. His sins were now totally atoned for by virtue of the shed blood of Christ. Brings us right up to date, doesn't it? All right, now then, verse 26. To declare, I say at this time, his righteousness. Now, what is Paul constantly hammering home? Either one way or another. That there's nothing we've got going for us. See, we have nothing good. We have no righteousness. We have nothing to barter. All we can do is, again, like Israel at the Red Sea, to say, I'm helpless. I'm hopeless. There's nothing I can do. But, oh, that's when God steps in, see? All right, and so he might be just. Now, I remember some time ago, either hearing or reading, I never remember which. Someone presented the same question that I had in my mind, and I'm sure everyone has. How will God justify sending someone
Man, this smoker is good.
fire when, so far as we know, they have never had an
full though. Drink a lot of water.
Well, whoever the individual was, and if I knew, I'd give credit, but I don't remember. He said,
Not gonna dwarf. From the olden days, but I secretly think that old channel got deleted because there was too much door foam in it. A lot of door foam. Door foam was literally falling down the screen.
There's no way we can comprehend it. But always remember that God
People were spraying it, misspraying,
totally just in all of his dealings.
puking on themselves. Fuck it.
So, in order for this to be consummated, the work of propitiation, the work of the shed blood, the work of redemption, as we saw in the last program, he's going to end up being just, and he's also going to be just in justifying, declaring, just as if they have never sinned, any sinner who is a child of Adam, who will simply believe in Jesus. Now, of course, when Paul says Jesus, he's not talking about the Jesus of the Gospels. He's talking about the Jesus after his resurrection. The Christ of resurrection. And let's never lose sight of that. So he is the justifier of him who believeth in Jesus. Now, again, I'm always reminding you, aren't I? What's left out of there? Well, all the things that the rank and file people think should be in there. But it isn't. There's a lot of things in here that the world says, well, this is what I have to do, or I mean the world, I mean Christianity. They'll say, well, you have to do this, and you have to do that, and you have to do this, and every other thing. It's not in there. All the Bible declares is that these things will be, and we'll be coming to the word imputed, probably in the next chapter. These things are imputed to us when we believe. But when we believe, things are going to start happening. We're going to see some life changes. We're going to see a whole new personality makeup. And that takes care of then of all the problems that these people say, well, you have to do this and you have to...
Try to jumble Mike, jump the atoms.
As a result then of our faith. See? All right, verse 27.
May be helpless, but
so where is
my freedom.
Sting? Remember I told you in one of the last taping programs, wouldn't heaven be awful, boring?
I'm gonna survive out in the woods.
Every 5 seconds and listen to somebody tell you
Not quite.
everything that they did to get there? Oh, it'd be
Cheers.
And that's what it would be. That's what the next chapter is going to say, that if Abraham would have been saved by works, he could have boasted.
Make malt liquor videos.
If he boasts now, he'd still be boasting a million years from now. But that's not the way it's going to be, see? There is going to be no room for boasting.
Can't sign in.
Can't make any point of that. You can't argue with that.
Put the password.
By what law?
I can watch fucking any YouTube video I want. That's true freedom. Thank you, Suwajeski.
Is it the law of works? No. But the law of faith. See? Isn't that beautiful? The law of faith without works.
Says walking. When I looked at this building, I saw nobody standing there. I pulled away for a second, and then I kind of looked back, like, really quick, and then all of a sudden there's a person standing there. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, that person didn't teleport. It's fucking the blind spot up the side of the eye.
We have to totally rest on that which has been done on our behalf. All right, now in verse 28. So Paul repeats things. And that's by spirit inspiration, and it's for a reason. And we have to do the same thing. We just have to constantly repeat some of these things in order for them to soak in.
The second they had me, though, I was like, the fuck?
Forget it. It's all said.
Oh.
It's done. We conclude. Man is
So that makes me feel like if I ever see anybody actually just appear, I'm like, oh, I won't be able to handle it. I'll look for rational ideas. Kind of like being crazy, because you come to expect that shit. So if it happens, like, you know, just accept it. And let down when you find out it's just a fucking optical trick or something. Smoke, coke and mirrors, whatever, you know.
And her caption was, faith plus nothing. Perfect. Because isn't that exactly the general rule of people? When they hear me teach that it's faith plus nothing, they just quizzically look and say, no, wait a minute, Les, what are you talking about? Don't I have to do this? Don't I have to do that? No, not for salvation. It is faith plus nothing. I know it may be hard to swallow, but listen, that's what the book teaches. Therefore, we have faith without law. All right, verse 29, I think we can finish the chapter in the minute we have left. Is he the God of the Jew only? Is he not also the God of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. Now, you know, that wasn't the concept back in the Old Testament, was it? All the Gentiles were in God's mind.
Faith will put me up in heaven right there with Hitler.
When Paul says, remember that when you were in your uncircumcision, you were strangers from the covenants of promise. You were aliens from the covenants.
Regular Protestant Christians go to heaven with Catholics.
That was the Gentiles' lot back there before the gospel of grace came along. But see, now it's,
I don't care about any of the gods. I know they're all appealing for my vote or faith of them. I just want to know, is there more than just one afterlife? Or do I got to float around and help people out for a while? Sometimes it's just easier to be an atheist. But then it's, you know, I'm going to be an atheist, and man, I got to add that +1. No faith, +1. Go out and do a good thing out there in life. And if God really wants to, God wants to punish me, like, oh, fuck you, man. I'm not trying to be righteous. This is major blasphemy. But neither freedom of thinking.
Now then, verse 31. I hope I can do it justice in 1 minute. Do we then make void the law through faith? In other words, when I stand here...
In the words of Benjamin Franklin, malt liquor is proof that yeast wants us to be happy.
Paul's going to say just as plain as English can make it, that when we love our neighbor, as a believer, of course, we fulfill the what? The law. See? We don't cast it out.
I'm gonna get drunk and ask these people all these questions. For years of being evangelists, speaking out amongst the book. I just want to confuse them. I just confuse them into giving me a decent answer. Never destroy somebody's faith. Dude, that's like the cockiest thing you could ever do. Even Satan won't do that. Yeah, back to the malt liquor. And out with the malt liquor. This program has been a help to your study of the scriptures, and you'd like to see others teaching. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Write to us. Thanks, Velvet Ministries, 30706 West. It's truly my cutty. Clinton, Oklahoma, 74552, or call 1-800-369-7856. Be sure to tune in next time.